Welcome to the Scotland Street School Museum. The school was opened on Friday the 5th of October 1906. It was designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, who was a famous Scottish architect, artist and designer. We know him today not only for his designs but for products based on his artistic work. The building was closed as a school on the 25th of June 1979. It has since been turned into a museum of education in Scotland from 1872 to the late 20th century. It has 3 reconstructed classrooms which we will be looking at today as well as other things. It used to be believed that boys and girls needed to be kept separated from each other, not only during lessons but also at playtime. As you can see from this model of the school, there are 2 playgrounds, one for the boys and one for the girls. They even had their own doors and stairs to use. In this school, even the infants had their own door. They also had separate cloakrooms to hang their coats and bags. The first classroom we are going to look at is the Victorian one. As you can see, all the children faced forward in a stepped formation. Class sizes at this time would have been big, around 66 children per class. The teacher sat at the front of the class on a raised desk, and like today's classroom, would have used blackboards to write up lessons. To maintain discipline in class, teachers would hit, shout and embarrass children in front of the rest of the class. Naughty children would be sat at the front of the class and made to wear a dunce hat which would highlight to the rest of the class that the teacher thought that this child was stupid. It's nice to know that teachers are no longer so strict with their pupils. At this time, children didn't write on paper, they used small blackboards instead. This next room is a reconstruction of a classroom during the Second World War. As you can see, the layout of the classroom hasn't changed very much from the Victorian times. However, children are now using paper instead of blackboards to write on. During the Second World War, all the children had to carry these boxes with them at all times. These boxes contained a gas mask, identity card and earplugs. Just imagine you were in class and suddenly you heard this. This siren would mean that we were under attack and everyone would have to put on their gas masks and head into the nearest bomb shelter. I am glad that all we have to deal with is the odd fire drill. This next classroom is the 1950s and 60s room. As you can see, the layout of this room is very different from the previous 2 classrooms. The teacher still has a desk at the front of the class and still uses blackboards. The children did not have their own trays but instead kept their work in their desks. Naughty children would sometimes write their names inside them. Children would have used these blocks to learn to count and these books to learn to read. These Peter and Jane books were still being used in the 1970s. During the 1940s to the 70s, very naughty children would have been smacked using Earlier in the report, we mentioned that boys and girls were often kept separate. One of the main reasons for this was that they were expected to learn different things.
No running in the corridor!
Boys were expected to learn skills like woodwork and metalwork. Girls were expected to learn skills like cooking and cleaning. This room is where girls would learn to cook and clean. On the shelves you can see all the equipment they would have used. This is the old style cooker they would have used. They used coal to heat it. In the middle of the room they had the work tables, and at the back of the class was the work desks. Boys were not allowed to join these classes. Here we have a modern washing machine. Let's have a look at an old-fashioned one. One kitchen sink, one washboard for rubbing the clothes, one mango for squeezing out water, plus one young girl or lady equals one washing machine. The Scotland Street School Museum has a lot to come and see and is definitely worth a visit. It's free to get in and is easy to find. Let's have a look at a few other things you will be able to see if you come along.